Hello folks, what's going on? Tuesday night. Hope you're having a good week. We're going to talk about some cool Cisco Champions things that happened today, things I learned about this program. I didn't really know much about when I got involved with it, but learning that it's pretty cool. So we're talking about that, as well as how I'm doing on transitioning to preparing for the lab exam. So hope you're having a great Tuesday night. Also, we got a great, something to celebrate. We got someone who got a pass their exam today, so that's really good. But yeah, move right on to Cisco Champions. This is day 356 of this vlog. And, when I don't remember exactly how it happened. I know that someone had mentioned at Cisco Live that they were going to nominate me for the Cisco Champions program, but I think there was also a call that went out at some point saying if you'd like to join, apply, fill out this application. So I think both things really came into play to get a nomination for this. And when I filled out the application, I wasn't sure what I was really getting into. I didn't really know much about it. And I still don't know a whole lot about it. But I know that there's some pretty cool people in the community that are involved. So I thought, well, if person A and person B are involved, then maybe there's some cool things to it. So in order to join the program beyond being nominated and asked to participate and filling out the application, you also have to do two things. One is sign an NDA, and you have to also attend orientation. And orientation was the day for one of the orientation, meetings, and it was through webex Teams, of course. It was really amazing. I actually learned about some of the benefits of the program. It was a 1 hour, more or less, meeting, and I took some screenshots, but none of them really turned out worthy of actually posting. But I just noticed there's some really cool people in there that I've also followed on social media related to networking. Duan Lightfoot was in this meeting, Network Chuck, among other people. Cisco Panther was there. So it was really cool to see. Not everybody was on video, but it was cool in the WebEx to see those people, and we had a little chat going. Casadix, how are you this evening? Hope you're having a good Tuesday night, sir. And thank you for stopping by the Land Timber Stream to hang out and chat about networking things. And it is, of course, Dude for Him. By the way, folks, Dude for Him, DM him if you want to be involved in a study group. It turns out, Dude for Him, that because I've had to change my gym schedule, I'm going to bed a lot earlier than I used to. So 8 p.m. is going to be kind of late for me. As a matter of fact, generally these days, once I get off the stream, I have to start preparing to for my new bedtime, my new old man bedtime. Yes, exactly, Dude for Him, old man. So I'm getting up and going to the 5 a.m. class now, which is the 5 a.m. CrossFit class. So it means I have to go to bed even earlier. What it does mean, though, is that one benefit I'm seeing so far is that in the morning, I have more time to study before work than I used to. Of course, that's where I'm making up the difference in the time. And I'm a little sharper in the morning in terms of retention of information. So we'll see how it goes. So far, it's going really well, and it's really cool because I'm able to go. It's a schedule that accommodates my wife going as well. So we had a great time this morning working out and getting our butts beat. I'm very sore tonight, but I am getting back to 5 days a week. So, but anyway, I just want to give you a heads up on that, Dude friend. That's why I have not joined the sessions yet. But the orientation it went really well. I found out that they have a blogging club, and they have someone who hosts that who is a Cisco employee who was instrumental in getting the annual blog awards going, and she also is a blogger herself, like a travel blogger or something. So there's going to be like a blogging club, and they're also going to talk about, just once in a while meet up and give tips or advice on social media, so that's cool. There's a WebEx Teams room that is going to be open to the Cisco Champions. So, it'll be a forum just kind of like Discord or whatever. So there'll be a Teams room just for champions that I think we're going to be invited to starting next week, all the new members. There will also be some feedback sessions where Cisco will ask for feedback on certain things, or they might even approach us individually about certain things, just looking for feedback on what we thought about who knows what, right? There's a newsletter that they send out. I don't know what's in it yet, but there's also a beta testing program. So from time to time, for certain products, we might be invited to beta test certain products. We might even be involved in testing, embargoed testing programs. So there might even be things that are released, but they want to get more feedback on, things like that. And that's where the NDA comes in. Like, it's okay for me to talk about this stuff, but if we are involved in, previews of certain products, then obviously we're tied to an NDA for that. Product pre-briefings, things like that. So we might know about products. So there'll be like, they told us that generally for new products and new services, things like that, there's an internal release to Cisco, groups within Cisco. Then there's like press pre-releases, and somewhere in there, Cisco Champions also get information or pre-briefings about new things coming down the pipe. And then there is a Cisco Champions radio podcast that I've never heard of. So they will occasionally invite Cisco Champion to come in to that podcast as a guest and ask questions or participate in that podcast. I need to check that out, though, and see what that's all about. Then there's if you don't already have your own blog, they offer you blog space at cisco.com, something like that. This is not everything, but I was pleasantly surprised. And thank you so much, Big Abe. Thank you for that new Prime subscription, Big Abe 21. I appreciate that, man. Thank you so much for your support of the stream. Hope you're doing well in your Junos things as well. So thanks so much for that support. Coming in with that Twitch Prime sub. Appreciate that, buddy. Hope you're doing well. So yeah, this is that's what this program is about, and I'm looking forward to seeing the biggest impact to me was, I guess I didn't realize, is wow, this Cisco WebEx, and we got all these people they went over stats like how many countries are represented, how many different companies are represented in the group of Cisco Champions. So if nothing else comes from any of these, just the fact that the ability to network with other people, expanding, kind of your networking social network is a great opportunity. So I'll keep everyone apprised of that. I have a giveaway, by the way. I've been doing this thing with tidying up. If anyone has seen it, if you haven't seen it yet on Netflix, it's all the rage. People are writing about it, like, and it's let's see, what is it called? Yeah, tidying up with Marie Kondo. So it's a really cool series. And anyway, as part of that, and it's great as part of the new year. I do recommend it, though, especially as a kind of a New Year's thing, to get organized and tidy up your space. So as part of that, this book has been sitting around, and I don't know how well you can see that, but it is basically The Quantum Age of IT. And I've talked about it before here on the stream. So if you are interested in it, and you live in the United States and I could ship it to you in the US, just let me know. Ping me here in the Twitch chat. That's all you got to do. Just, say hello in the chat here, and we'll do a spin or something, and I will send you this book if you're interested. I do recommend it. It's really good in terms of, how to view the ever shifting landscape of IT in terms of, now things are getting so commoditized. When you think about the importance of, we've talked about network programmability and learning to code again, and, our system admins and network operators and admins with the advent of SDN and automation. Does that mean that the old network admin or network, engineer of the past, that job is going away? It addresses a lot of those sort of concerns and talks about going forward into the quantum age of IT, or the future age, like what type of skills do you really need to have? And it's a great perspective on it, and it was recommended by a high-ranking person in our IT organization, and it's a quick read. But anyway, just ping me in the chat or in Discord if you'd like this book, and I'll ship it to you for free. On my video series, I've mulled this over, and I haven't done anything with it just because I've been focused on study, and also at noon I would like to record these like on my lunch break. So hopefully starting tomorrow, I will be able to record part 1 of passing the CCI written exam video series. And my lunch hour today was all devoted to this Cisco Champions orientation meeting. So hopefully that will start tomorrow. Stay tuned for that. And then I'm continuing to work on reviewing the written fail notes. I was very tempted to do a lab this morning on a topic that I didn't understand fully, and just decided not to do it because it may come up in the lab blueprint. It may not. I'm not 100% sure, but I have been reading Cisco Docs, networklessons.com, and looking at Cisco Live presentations. I've got, today alone, I probably got into 3 different topics. And I found out, it's funny, there were a couple of questions where I wasn't 100% sure. And I thought, well, maybe I got it. And I looked back today and figured out on a couple of those, no, I definitely did not get those right. I may have gotten partial credit. Cisco, on the written, believe it or not, and I did not learn this until I actually went and read, through, I think it was my first attempt, and I actually read all the instructions. And it says in there that for some questions, you may be given partial credit. So some of these were multiple part questions, and I was pretty sure, I have no doubt that at least one of my checkboxes was wrong. So, but it was good because I wasn't sure, and that's the purpose of this exercise. I have put a cap on this, though, as part of my lab plan. I have a lot of unfinished business still with the written. I've got, my goal was to basically wrap it up by this weekend so that I could start back on the INE Advanced Technology Workbook and multicast on this weekend. That is still the plan. If I have to rush through a little bit of it, I'll do that. I just cannot do this indefinitely and account for the time, right? What I am doing, though, is I'm still, as I mentioned, I'm doing flashcards now every day. Every day it may be 10 minutes, it may be 20 minutes, but it's generally, around 15 minutes or so that I'm reviewing flashcards and adding new ones. So yeah, I have not set a date yet. Again, today has been very busy. Has not happened yet. It will happen this week, though. We are going to set a date and book the lab this week. I want to congratulate, too, Banner MOTD. You can follow him on Twitter. He's also in the Discord, and today he passed his CCNA routing and switching certification. We're all happy for you, Banner MOTD. Great job. And he's already talking about this. He already knows what his next exam is going to be. He says he's going for the CCNP route switch, and he wants to take the route exam next. So the guy is moving forward, and that's an encouragement to all of us. Great job, my friend. So happy for you. I always love to hear what other people take that exam and they get a pass. I feel good for them. So just a little bit of trivia tonight, folks. What is I posted this on Twitter. I've gotten some interesting responses. It can be sometimes for people confusing at first. Okay, Redfish says jitter is delay variation. max delay minus min delay. And that's a good one, Redfish. Appreciate that. I want to share, that's very close to, I think that's what, oh, that's my other Twitter account. One sec. That's very close to what people were commenting on today in Twitter, and I may have some new responses that I haven't looked at. That's a good variation. I kind of challenged, I was like, okay, give me a good definition. What's your best definition? And okay, here's one from, hey, we see Casadix, Rando Casado, variance in delay. My challenge was to try to do it in 3 words or less. That's kind of a bonus. And let's see, Jedediah posted variation in latency. So here's some good ones. So far we have variation in latency. You could also say, I guess, latency variance, maybe. What else we got? We got delay variation. It's a lot of ways of saying the same thing, right? Variance and delay is what Fernando says. Variation and delay, latency variance, delay variation. The one that I saw, I thought was really cool. It was actually in the IPSLA configuration guide, I believe is where it was. This was. But it said inter packet delay. So basically, what is the delay between individual packets, right? So those are all really good. I like it. This can be a confusing concept for some in the beginning, but you know what would be really cool is to think about a similar terminology to use in actual mathematical statistics. We talk about jitter in networking, but I'm pretty sure in statistics, I'd have to go back and look at my statistics notes from college. But I'm pretty sure there is a good term also for this. And basically that's what it boils down to is you're taking, generally it's use of timestamps, whether it's, for example, I was studying this with IPSLA, ICMP jitter, but it's the same sort of operation done with UDP jitter. And it's essentially taking, a start and an end time and measuring that and comparing that statistically across a period of time, right? And that's that variance. A variance probably is the statistical term in mathematical statistics discipline. It probably is variance or some form of variance. But yeah, good stuff, folks. Thanks for your feedback on that. And this is really important, right, with voice communications in particular and video, because if you look at round trip time, for example, the round trip time could look really low, but that does not necessarily mean that the connection is good for voice, because you could be on a connection where there are not that many, there isn't a lot of traffic, but from time to time there are bursts of traffic, like large file transfers. And without QoS or any sort of scheduling priorities for voice, they could be, you could go an hour with no interruption to calls, and then you could have really bad call quality for 5 minutes. And that's just, your average round trip time is going to show as pretty good over that period of time. But your jitter, you're going to have spikes in jitter, and that's exactly what you really don't want. Different delay between packets. Yes, that's pretty much absolutely right, because I think we're all saying the same thing. So I just wanted to see if there were any kind of other cool. I had read this the other day in the Cisco doc, interpacket delay. I thought, oh, that's clever. What else does the community have, or can they come up with? And I love these really brief sort of explanations, right? They're really good. But one meat chunk today, there was an announcement apparently by Microsoft along with the new year, in that you can now, and I'll post this link here if you want to read up more about it, but basically before you had to pay for private repos on GitHub. Like there were you could have, I don't know what the limit was, but you could have public repos, and that's where the Landtamer repo is. It's on GitHub, but it's public. But I also have some private repositories, and you could not do that for free on GitHub before. Well, now that Microsoft has purchased GitHub, one of the changes they've made here in this new year is that they're now allowing free private repos, and you can even share it with up to 3 people, I think, which is cool, because to do that earlier, I was using GitLab. So I have some repos on GitLab that are free and that are private, but now you can do that on GitHub as well. Dimitri, I think it is good. Hey, Dimitri, I think it is good, but they're late in the game. GitLab is light years ahead. I agree, and that's where I don't know that I will necessarily, I don't have any incentive to transition to GitHub for the private repos that I have. I really don't have an incentive to do that I can think of. Redfish agrees with Dimitri on that. I don't know why they weren't free before. But I'm glad they are now. So anyway, we'll see going forward what I end up using there. It would be nice to consolidate down to like a single account for cloning and things like that. But anyway, that's an announcement there. And that's all I have today, folks. There's a lot of things coming up in this January. You know, January, the new year is definitely underway. There's a lot going on. Thanks so much, everybody in the chat, for hanging out. It's really good interactions tonight. And let's see, Dimitri says, on top of GitLab private repos, you also get free private Docker repo, and their CI is top notch. You know, I've not used their CI, Dimitri. I will have to check that out. I use Azure DevOps already, and I have a motive to do that because we use it, our team uses it at work, and it integrates really well with of course, Azure ARM templates. It is also a little behind, I think, on CI/CD software in comparison to a lot of others out there, but they are catching up quickly, I have to say. They seem to be on a rapid pace. They're investing a lot of resources into their automation platform, and I don't know. I've been really impressed with some of the Microsoft products, and I've always been kind of a skeptic of Microsoft and their products, just because of past experiences and some of the crappy things that have been done with their operating systems. And their network operating systems. But I have to say, they're in, you know, one reason I think that Microsoft is now I think they're still the richest company in the world now, is because of their development platforms. And they're putting a lot behind automated development, not just on the coding side, but now they're trying to make waves on the infrastructure side of things as well, and we'll see where it goes. It's going to be interesting to watch, that's for sure. Thanks so much, folks, for hanging out. Always great seeing all the folks that are here and the great feedback. So thanks for hanging out, folks. I'm going to get back to studying for a little bit longer till I get ready to hit the hay, and always appreciate the support and feedback, and we shall see you back here tomorrow on the Landtamer stream. Have a good night.